Now we, of course, start with our top story coming out of the United States, and survivors of crimes perpetrated by Jeffrey Epstein spoke at the US Capitol today ahead of a crucial House vote on a bill demanding the release of Justice Department files on Jeffrey Epstein. The bill would make public key documents including flight logs, travel records and names tied to the investigation. Democratic Representative Ro Khanna expects an overwhelming vote in favour, stressing the bill should go straight to the Senate without amendments. He added that justice is long overdue, and this comes as Trump, who initially opposed the release, reversed his stance and encouraged House Republicans to support the measure. Adding on, former US Treasury Secretary Larry Summers announced that he will step back from all public commitments following the Justice Department's investigation into his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Summers, the former president of Harvard University, said his decision was aimed at rebuilding trust and repairing relationships. The move came after the House Oversight Committee released thousands of documents related to Epstein, including personal correspondence between Summers and the late sex offender. Summers expressed deep shame, acknowledging the pain caused by his continued communication with Epstein, saying that he takes full responsibility for his misguided decision. Epstein survivors are now speaking ahead of the crucial vote release of the Epstein files, appealing to the representatives. Let's cut across.
Feel like? What is their energy? What do they smell like? What sound do they make when they laugh? Really think about that child, just for a moment. Now I want you to picture a pair of giant looming wooden doors and an overbearing marble landing. Those are the doors to Jeffrey Epstein's house. Do you allow that child to enter or not? If the answer is yes, you would allow entrance. You stand with predators. If the answer is no, then congratulations, you're on the right side of justice. Now you have homework. I am calling for the American people. You have homework. Call your congressional leaders. Call your senators. Please support this bill. Let's get it all released. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're now joined by Raymond Vickery. He's an international affairs expert and former US Assistant Secretary of Commerce, and he joins us live from Washington. Thank you very much, Raymond. It's a pleasure to have you here speaking about this topic. Of course, this is merely the first step of a long process, of course, that this bill is going to go through first the House of Representatives, then the Senate, and then eventually, of course, end up on President Donald Trump's desk. If this does go through, how likely is it that the Epstein Transparency Act will be signed by the president in the Oval Office?
Well, thanks very much, Thomas, for having me. It's always a pleasure. You know, it seems to me that there are two basic principles at stake here that are important to democracy. One is equal treatment under the law. You can't have one rule here with this background. Trump and another rule for
Hello, how are you? Very good. Nice to see you.
I do apologise. There seems to be some audio issues, Raymond.
Transparency
very well.
Is key to democracy. And is extremely important for an informed citizenry.
I'm not filming you, I'm filming myself.
Right.
I do apologise there, Raymond. We seem to have some audio issues. Hopefully that's going to get sorted out very soon. Just bear with us just as we get that sorted. Yes, of course, that we are, of course, covering the ongoing situation of the release of the Epstein files, which is, of course, at its first stage, going into a crucial House vote today, much after Donald Trump, of course, was against the release of this and is now backing House Republicans to sign on for the release in it, to vote in favour in a dramatic U-turn by the US president. Okay, apologies there, Raymond. We seem to have had some audio issues. Raymond, going back to that, of course, this does have to be signed into law by Donald Trump. If you don't mind carrying on what you were previously saying, apologies before we saw those audio issues there.
Well, thanks. I was saying that two important principles here are one, equal treatment under the law. You can't have one rule for President Trump and another rule for Democrats. Second, you've got to have transparency if you're going to have an informed citizenry that's able to participate in democracy. That having been said, the unusual situation in which the president has made a complete U-turn on the release of these documents is an example of what happens when you get crossways with your own supporters. He had pumped up his supporters on a conspiracy theory involving Epstein and Democrats, and it is perfectly apparent that there are enough votes in the House of Representatives to pass this. So now, rather than trying to say that he's in any way, shape, or form against this, he's taken a complete U-turn. It's the old adage of "I'm their leader. Which direction are they going in?" And he's found out that the direction in which his own MAGA supporters are going is not the one which he had staked out.
I do apologize, Raymond, for that. Just going back, of course, when Donald Trump has previously released files, we've seen the release of the JFK files. We've seen the files released in terms of Martin Luther King, but of course they're always heavily redacted. Of course, victims' names that are victims of sexual assault and of course the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein will expectedly be redacted in these files. However, how much more of it, if you can tell us, will we see? Will Donald Trump be able to see if his name is in those files released before he signed it, for example?
Well, I think that there is a suspicion that part of the reason for the U-turn is that he has reached an agreement with the Attorney General on redaction of portions which would implicate him. So it's not only trying to get ahead of the majority vote, which will be against his position, but the suspicion is, of course, that the redaction will eliminate key evidence involving the president. We have to wait and see as to what comes out, but you put your finger really on a very important point, is that there must be some reason even beyond the freight train of support for this bill, which has caused President Trump to reverse his stand.
Yes, and Raymond, we all wait in anticipation to see what comes out. Do stay with us as we have further updates, this time from the foreign policy angle. US President Donald Trump has said that he will talk to